Welcome back to my channel. It has definitely been a minute. I was doing so well with posting and then it just kind of fell off for a couple of months just due to life and stuff. I almost wasn't going to post this video of me filling out my April pages, but I thought, I wanted to put something out there. We could do a little catch up and you can see how I kind of started to set up my bullet journal. So this is my April theme. I really wanted to use these washi tapes and stickers, so I went with this pink purpley theme. I'm not entirely too sure how I feel about the cover page still, but overall, it was okay. I wanted to get my Q2 set up and I wanted to get reset and back on track, which did not happen this month. I'm starting to fill out my calendar a little bit, putting in important dates and events. March ended up being pretty busy because of Ramadan. I have a lot of family birthdays in March, and also, so the last couple months have been busy just with life and work, and then just not feeling like I really wanted to sit at a computer and edit videos. And I also fell into kind of a journal slump. So everything just kind of came together at once. So the latter half of February, I was in and out of town for family stuff, and then I was traveling for work. And then of course, for my work conference, I got sick. I had a cold, thankfully nothing worse. So that just took me out for a couple weeks. Other than just doing work, since luckily I do work from home, I would pretty much just be sleeping. So not really in a journaling or filming or doing anything else kind of mood, honestly. As you can see, April is my Q2 setup, and I wanted to kind of pull back and focus on two big projects this quarter. I decided to base this kind of goals list sort of based on Anna Brunn's trackers that she's made for the 12-week year, which is you spend 12 weeks focusing on a goal and completing it rather than spreading it out over the year. So 12 weeks is a quarter. That works very well for my planner. And I decided to give everything a week of date. So this week I need to accomplish one task, and if I accomplish all these little tasks slowly, then I'll actually finish the larger goal. I think that makes sense. It's easier to break a big project down like this. Something I've also learned just from work and my career and everything. And so the first side is about finishing my office. You'll see me going to my home project tracker. So one of the things that I've been wanting to get done in finishing setting up my office, properly decorated and stuff. And so I went back to my tracker, took down a quick list of things, and you'll actually see that I check marked a lot of it still needed to do, and I wanted to put it in. We actually ended up having our family over at the end of Ramadan, and I wanted to make sure my office looked nice because it's downstairs. My niece and nephew and my family usually pop in here, and it forced me to do it. When you are having people come over and you need to deep clean your house and make it look perfect. It's kind of like that. The other goal I wanted to do was some career professional stuff, just updating my portfolio, taking a few courses that I've signed up for that I just haven't made time for. And I still kind of need to figure out which tasks I want to accomplish, but I'm going to put those in there. And you'll see the date start a little later because I started filling these out actually mid-April, and I didn't want to feel bad about it already being mid-April and I didn't do things. So I decided I'm going to give myself a little leeway, a little cushion, and start mid-May, which in hindsight, because I'm recording this at the end of April now, was really smart. And then I'm going and filling in some of my other Q2 spreads. I have a section for books I read, my Q2 stats. You'll see me looking back into my journal from Q1 throughout the months, figuring out what tasks I've completed already, what do I need to carry over to Q2, and set up my habit trackers. And then I'm gonna also copy in some content tasks, such as recording this voiceover and editing this video, as well as some things I want to get done this month. And then on the other side will be my books I read for the quarter and my Q2 reading stats. I'm actually going to go back and fill out some of the Q1 stuff too in this video, so you can kind of see what it looks like. So going back to what I was saying, February and the first half of March was chaotic, and then trying to get myself back on track, and then it was like the end of Ramadan, and then we go into April and just the other things happening. Work was picking up. It's kind of draining when you're just like doing work all day in front of a computer. Again, I mentioned I work from home. I work a day job, like a corporate job. So even though I am at home, I'm still in meetings. I'm at my desk for more than half of the 8 hours. I walk around, I have lunch and stuff. But you get tired of being at a screen for a long time, even though I end up going to my iPad or my phone. But that's like fun, mindless stuff, which is probably not great. But in any case, I found it very hard to sit down and edit stuff. I've recorded a lot of things actually. So I'm hoping to get stuff out. I realized I still want to track things just because it feels nice to see my progress for things. Basically my skincare is pretty much set. I don't know if I need to keep tracking it anymore because it's built in now, but it's still cool to see yourself actually accomplishing things. But in any case, I'm just going to leave it at the same three I always do, which is my skincare routine, reading, and moving around. And you'll see that I actually printed out a book cover already because I was actually reading Sunrise on the Reaping, the latest Hunger Games prequel. I was reading this or listening to this on audiobook while I was actually filling out these spreads. So I knew I was going to finish that and put in my star rating. It's a very sad book. I have finished it by the time of this voiceover, but it's really sad, but it was really good. And I think it gives you a lot of context and really builds out the world more. But anyway, definitely a good read. And then throughout Q2, I will go in and print out the little book covers and put page ratings. And I just print these on regular printer paper. Paper I had printed on for various reasons and I just have left over. And rather than recycling it, I will just use it for my bullet journal. So flipping onto these two pages, I've been wanting to do more memory keeping, just the small things, for April, I have my niece and nephew's birthdays, and then my 11th heart transplant anniversary, which is insane to say out loud. Usually I do a little something, whether it's going to get coffee or having cake or something small. But anyway, there's always pictures, so I like to take a picture on that day just to be hey, look, I'm still here and thankfully very healthy. And then I'm moving on to my weekly spreads. You'll see that I made 6 boxes for the month. I decided to combine Saturday and Sunday, which I don't like, and then this proved me right that I don't like it. But I kept it really simple. I just wanted space to write out a few tasks each day. I've come to realize that I really don't like small, tiny boxes. I do not write very small compared to a lot of other bullet journalers. And I know they're often using super fine liners, but you'll see if you look at my handwriting throughout these pages, I don't write tiny. I think I write a normal size. So that I can't be contained in the tiny boxes. It kills me. Usually I only record my setups at the beginning of every quarter for that month. So it's usually January, April, July, and October, just so it's a little easier on myself, that I don't feel like I have to record something every month. And this time that's why I did this a little differently. Instead of feeling pressure on my setup, I didn't really feel creative. I thought it'd be more fun to kind of show you me building it out, because I don't really film flip throughs, so I thought that would be a little fun and different. And yeah, so that was pretty much my weekly setup. It's super simple, and then the next weeks will also look like that. And now I'm coming back to my Q1 spread and filling in both the books that I've read as well as my Q1 reading stats. So like a lot of other people, I do use an app. I use Storygraph. I've never been a Goodreads fan, honestly. I don't know why it felt really like a chore. I think just because like you were meant to like post reviews for other people, build a community, and on Storygraph I don't have any friends. I just like add my little stars and move on. It's just a tracking mechanism for me. And no surprise that my genre was mostly romance, and I had one mystery. And you can see like I didn't rate these very high. They were okay. None of these were really good, especially for Everyone This Christmas Has a Secret. I read the first one, which is Everyone in My Family Has Murdered Someone, and I really liked that one. And then the sequel was decent, and I feel like this was a novella actually, which I didn't know until I started listening to the audiobook, and I was like, wow, it's really short. It's okay. I don't know, I feel like they're declining in quality. I don't know how many other twists and turns you can have, but the first one I liked. I definitely recommend that one. And then the Abby Jimenez book, I actually paused it. I was listening to it, and then, like I mentioned, I'd gone out of town. I just didn't have time to like read. I thought I would. Every night that I came back to my room, I just like knocked out. Like I brought my Kindle. I don't know why. It was a waste. Anyway, and then I paused out during Ramadan because I didn't really feel like reading a spicy book, you know, during that time. Felt wrong. And I actually just finished it today at the time of this voiceover because I had like 4 hours left. And anyway, adding in my Q1 stats, predictably I read like 4 books, which I figured was gonna happen. My goal is overall to read 25, hopefully. I did exceed my goal last year of 24 books, so we'll see. It gives me some breathing room on like those lesser read months or week, and then on the other end of that, like sometimes I'll just read like a bunch of books at once, so I like having that option. And going back a little further, I actually am setting up this little reading spread just to have like a little blurb and a little tiny review for each of my books. I don't think I'm ever going to write like lengthy reviews or start a reading journal because it's just going to be more stuff that I'm never going to fill out. But I did want a place to document it a little bit. And I actually had these papers that I bought from Journal Say, this little notepad, and it was like book themed. And then I realized like I flipped through it. I bought these months ago, by the way. I flipped through this and I saw that the notepad, like the little template style, changes a couple times, which is awesome because I thought they were all that top memo thing. And that just shows you that I clearly did not look at what I bought. But that's cool. I mean, it was a nice surprise. I actually wanted to put in my gasp when I was flipping through this in real time, but I think there's like dishes or something happening in the background as usual. I usually film with my door open just because like I can go in and out, you know, if someone needs to talk to me at home, wherever. But yeah, so I'm filling out these little like kind of library cards. I have more covers I can print. I put in the genre, how many pages it is, the date that I finished it, and what number it was. I decided to still keep the Abby Jimenez book in Q1 because I started it. I literally only had a few chapters left when I paused it, so I try to keep things neat. Using more of these star stickers that I bought. I bought these off of Amazon, but it is actually from a small business. I think it's called like Orange Umbrella. You can see it on the sheet. So definitely easy to get. I know people have stamps, people like to draw them out. I really like the stickers. I think they're fun. I mean, I don't have to draw it. And I like putting stickers in, as you can see, because I'm just like pasting things in all the time. So I'm going to make a little book card for each of the books, and then with the leftover space I'm just going to write in my thoughts. It'd probably be really simple, like, this was cool, I enjoyed it, or this was meh, you know? I do think my star rating for the Abby Jimenez book, because I literally just finished it like an hour ago, I gave it 3 stars, which isn't terrible. I'm wondering if my rating is impacted because of like the big break that I took, but I don't know. It was kind of dragging on. I was getting annoyed with characters and stuff like that. So this is where I kind of want to write in a little blurb, because even though I know other people who read these books, I don't really talk to them about it. It just doesn't happen for whatever reason. So nice to just get a few of my thoughts in there, have it for memory keeping. And that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and flip through. Here's my calendar set up for now. Here's my books I read, my habits, and then some of my memory keeping spreads, and then my weekly spreads. And that's pretty much it. Let me know if you like this kind of video. It's a little different for me. If you stuck around this long, put in a pink emoji. Thank you so much for watching as always. Bye.